So when I was in 8th grade, I had this crazy teacher for a class called Steel Drums, and she was a replacement teacher for our previous teacher, who was fine. But this lady, she honestly should had never been a teacher in her entire life with the way that she treated us in that class. For further context, I'll just go into what the class is or was. It was just a music class where you play the steel drums, or as they're called in Trinidad, steel pans. And they're really good, like, interesting instruments. I still love them. I would love to have one to this day, but, I don't have room for one, and I can't afford it. Anyway, for the sake of the story, I'll just call this woman Miss L. So she would just scream at us, and it got to a point where, I guess in the middle of the year, mind you, this was a really long time ago, but this is how impactful she was to my memory. She would just scream so loud that she lost her voice for like an entire week, and then she blamed the class. Like, she blamed just a bunch of 8th graders for her having to quote unquote scream at us and lost her voice, and then would like make this sob story that we are like harming her mentally. Yeah, she was that crazy. And by no means was our class like a good class. I've been in other music classes before. Like, I was an avid band kid, and I've been in piano in high school, and I retook steel drums in high school with a different teacher. He was great. He was also a band teacher. I didn't really like him teaching band, but he was great at teaching steel drums. But by no means was this class a good class. They were very obnoxious, and for a lot of them, they were just kind of forced into it. But I was always a really quiet kid, so I wasn't an issue. I was just an observer in this. We worked in the auditorium in the school because there was no like room for the steel drums to be, and that was the only place for them to be, was on the stage. And we would move them for concerts and move them down. But the kids in this class, they would play tag in the auditorium, which caused this lady to scream her lungs out. And it got to the point where none of the administrators in the school would take her claims seriously when she would call them, and the kids, they would just mock her, and it was really bad. And by no means I'm defending her, but she claimed that a playing card, because one of my friends, he would do card tricks because he was learning card tricks. One of them like flew out of his hand like mid doing it, and I guess it like flew through the air, but not like this isn't an anime. It's not going to fly through the air at lightning speed. It just kind of like fizzled through the air, and it hit her in the neck, she said. And she said it hit her like a knife, like it punched her, and she was like screaming in pain, and she's screaming at him, and she's trying to get him written up over a playing card hitting her neck. And that's just one of the ridiculous things that she did. So I don't know if my friend actually got written up over that. I really doubt the administrators took her seriously. But another thing that they would do in the class, mind you, we're just a bunch of middle schoolers. I think they were also just like fake moaning all the time anyway, like the obnoxious boys in the class. But they would also play hide and seek in the auditorium. Like, they would hide under the choir stands. Like, there were like these steps where like the choir would stand for concerts, and then they would hide in between the chairs in the auditorium. And it even got to a point where there was like this brick wall, and it was like there was like electrical equipment like in between this brick wall and like another wall that was a part of the stage, and they were hiding in that, and they were climbing on top of like the ladder to like the top stage equipment for the lights. So these kids were insane. Like, I will give her that, but that by no means does it justify her actions. Like, you were screaming so much you lost your voice for an entire week, and this was literally every day that she would scream at us. We were getting no work done, like, in the class. I was just here, I just wanted to play my instruments because the previous teacher was really good. Miss L was ridiculous. And there was also this kid named John in the class, and he was just kind of rage baiting her. He was trolling. He was saying that Miss L really hurt his feelings, and he was really sad, and he was like fake crying. And her response was that good, she's glad that he's sad she wants him to be sad, and she was 100% serious. And it's like, I really don't think you should be a teacher, and you can't control this class, and you're not doing what's good for these students. And I just wish I had a better experience, because I really enjoyed the steel drum.